second. Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity in whichever way they can. Alright, I was walking through my neighborhood and it made me recall a dream that I had of Jacob's trouble. Alright, because you know how you may like forget about a dream, but sometimes you'll remember it like later on. And and because like I was walking through my neighborhood and it was dark out, and that's basically the setting of my dream was that I was in like a decent neighborhood, but I was on the run and it's very dark. The lights weren't working, like the street lights weren't on, porch lights, none of that was on. But I know that I was in like a neighborhood and it was dark outside. I think like the moonlight was the only light that you had. And it made me, recall that dream. And it made me think of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. It made me think of the scriptures that I'm about to get in this video. I'm going to start by reading 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Alright. Let's see. This is 2nd Ezra 15, and I'll start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Alright, weapons. So people are gonna fight against another people, meaning like people are gonna go into their own people, man, like race riots, gang wars, cliques, military troops, all that, man. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Alright, so people aren't gonna regard the law of the land during that time. Alright, people are just gonna do what they want. Just like the purge. It's gonna be the purge out here. Alright, and that's how it was in my dream, man. I was like every like corner, every back like fence I jumped, every house that I went into, and little hiding place, I couldn't stay there long. Any hiding place or anything, I could only stay there for like a minute tops. And then whether it be a beast that was on the loose that I had to flee from, or whether it was somebody with a weapon trying to come after me and take whatever I had, I was on the run, man, fleeing. Alright, that's basically what was going on throughout the dream. So I was just running. Alright, and like every little corner, I'd get in like a ditch just for like a few seconds just to let people pass by, and then I had to get up and run. Alright, because I know somebody wasn't short behind me, or somebody else might have saw me coming through. And it is like me barely getting missed by bullets, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Alright, so that military checkpoints, alright, that's something that's going to happen during martial law. People aren't going to let people just go in and out, travel freely. Alright, they're going to have this place on lockdown, because they're not going to trust anybody just freely going into, flying into your city or flying out. Alright. It says, for because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And yeah, it was a terrifying setting, man. houses were being raided, being destroyed. It was a scary setting. All right, and it's gonna be. All right, that is a prophetic dream. That stuff is coming to America. All right, and other parts of the world too, but mainly here in America. All right, verse 19 says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." All right, so it's going to be a famine out here. People are going to be looking to provide for themselves and their family by any means. All right, so you're gonna, it's gonna be like Fortnite or one of those battle royale RPG games, where you drop in without a weapon and then you just sweep the entire map, just trying to be the last one standing. All right, and that's also predictive programming. All right, the Fortnite, the Blackout, all those games, Apex Legends or whatever it's called. Those are predictive programming tools that Esau is using on the left-hand side to stir the minds up and mentally programming people to get in that mindset. Let's see. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." All right, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right, so because iniquity is increasing, so like it, the love of many is waxing cold, and you can see that happening now, man. People are getting agitated and anxious and stressed and depressed, and people don't really give a shit about anybody anymore. People are getting secluded, and people are getting individualized. They don't really care about anybody else. And that you can go on Twitter right now and just scroll through your Twitter feed, and all it is just me. All right. It's a very self-worship society, man. Narcissistic society. All right, and that's in 2 Timothy, I believe. Yeah, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection." People are going to social media for affection, all right? However many likes and comments they get, that's their affection, man. And is whack, man. And all of this is happening today. That's how you know we're in the last days. It says, "Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good." People always hate on somebody that's doing the right thing, all right? If you're being a man in society, you're being a God-fearing man, you say, homosexuality is wrong. You stand up for what you believe in. People look at you as crazy, man. Everybody hates you and wants to beat you up. It says, "Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away." Like people have like their own form of righteousness. They have their own truth or whatever. All right, but it's not the truth of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, they go to establish their own righteousness. They want to go by their own way. they said, oh, well, my God, or, I believe that this scripture means this. No, man, the scriptures aren't for private interpretation. All right. It says, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Hey, yeah, that's basically it. Let's see. I'm gonna jump to Isaiah, the 14th chapter. I'm gonna start at, Isaiah the 13th chapter, starting at verse 14. All right. It says, and it shall be as a chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. So people are gonna, that's that race rights. One people rising up to fight against another. And Yahushua talked about that. I might grab that. It says, verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. All right, by weapons, man. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and spoiled meaning, people are going to come in and take all your shit. All right, like spoils of war. It meant people took your resources and was on to the next one. All right, and those resources included women. And then it says, right after it says, and their wives ravished. All right, so it says, their children shall also be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Like a fatality move. Just cut, like, riddled with bullets or whatever. It says, their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. All right, and I shouldn't have to break down what that means, all right? If you have a good-looking wife, and they kill the children and they kill the father, what do you think they're gonna do? All right, you can even see that on what's that movie called? It's like a World War II movie with Brad Pitt. I want to say it was Inglourious Bastards, where they basically already took over the city in Germany, or I think it was France or somewhere over there in Europe. But he came into this house with no man in the apartment or house or whatever, and he started playing house with the women that was there, because it was like the mom and the daughter, and he brought like the private in there, and he started playing house. He made the women cook for him and make the dinner ready, and then he got with the mom and let the private get with the daughter. But yeah, man, that's gonna happen, man. Verse 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. All right, and when you look at if you look up where the Medes were, it's the modern day Russia. So that's talking about the Russians coming over here and wreaking havoc on the people. It says they will not regard silver or gold, so you won't be able to buy your way out of this hell, man. All right, they're not gonna accept any of your resources, man, because they're gonna take it anyways. That's what they're there for anyways. All right. But with that, I hope this was edifying. That's all I had. So, shalom.